Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Justices, for being here. It's great to see you again, and thank you for the opportunity we've had to speak with you about this over at your place a couple times over the last few years. Most of my questions have been addressed in those meetings regarding security. I did want to just point out that this is not just, it's your personal security, but it's also the IT systems that need to be updated. It's the cybersecurity that you're constantly attacked that's also being addressed in this as well, correct?
Correct. The cybersecurity attacks have been up, by magnitudes year after year. AI is, and the rapid advancement of AI is making that more and more possible. We haven't suffered the kind of paralyzing attacks that some of the lower courts have, but in seeing that, that has caused us to try to ramp up very quickly our cybersecurity protection. And so some of the funding that we're seeking is for additional cybersecurity experts who can come in when we've tried to proceed very responsibly. We've consulted, we had an external review done by experts, and then we've assembled a tiger team inside the court to try to implement those suggestions, because it obviously impacts not only the independence of the judiciary, but their national security risks to having our systems be vulnerable.
One of the big issues recently was the leak that happened, and the court was doing its best effort with the tools available at the time to track down the leak. I don't know if we've found the leaker yet. I don't think it's public.
The marshal issued a report at the conclusion of our internal investigation saying that we had not at that time.
At that time,
but
right.
yeah, she also said in that report that were additional evidence or leads to surface that they would be pursued.
And there have been additional leaks over time, too, and this is something that all 9 justices take extremely seriously, because we can't do our business, we can't engage in confidential communications, which is the best way to operate, is to be fully open with one's colleagues about one's views. If you think that those views are going to appear on the front page of a newspaper, you pull back. You don't have the kinds of conversations that I think the court really depends on to do great work. And this is something that has frustrated all of us, and that we're continuing to make efforts to resolve.
Is it your view, if there's a police force that reported directly to the Supreme Court that would include cybersecurity officials, I imagine, or any of the sort, is it your view that they would be subject to congressional subpoena, or would that be a separation of powers issue?
I don't think we are authorized to express a view on that.
Okay. One issue I do think that Americans are concerned with, and it's really appreciative to have you here. I wish we could have more of these because of our constitutional role, to be a check, in a sense, on, not necessarily on you all, your decisions certainly, but on the judiciary system. Is one thing that's really concerned me is what we've seen in nationwide injunctions, what we've seen in what's been lawfare, in the sense of we've seen lawyers who were supporting the president be disbarred, while those who campaigned and even attacked him invented extraneous legal platforms to go after him. There was no disciplinary action at all. And what concerns me about that is the ABA, the American Bar Association, doesn't serve officially as a gatekeeper, but in many ways serves as a gatekeeper, which traditionally that hasn't been that big of a deal. But they are the only they're the only accrediting agency for law schools recognized by the federal government. Yet lately they've kind of taken a partisan bent on a number of their policy outcomes and initiatives, including transgender surgery for children, advancing DEI requirements for accredited universities for law students. They even targeted universities who did not embrace those. They're weighed in on immigration policy, voting rights, opposed the display of 10 Commandments in public schools. They have opinions on a number of different international issues, including urging support for the people of the Western Sahara, self-determinate. So it's all I have to say, it's gone beyond making sure that we have good people who are qualified representing us, yet they serve in many ways as a gatekeeper. And I'm curious what would be the right way to approach that. Texas Supreme Court, I know, issued an opinion that basically said they shouldn't be the sole gatekeeper anymore, at least for Texas is concerned. Whether we should have more creditors, whether we should leave that to the states, I think there's a congressional role in this, and so that's why I'm asking.
If I may, we have a hard stop of 11:45 because the justices need to go over to the Senate and testify there. I want to make sure everybody gets their 5 minutes. So, and if you can respond to that in very quick order, or we can move on to the next questioner. It's
Up to you.
It's up.
I'll say something very quickly. Each state is in charge of the admissions of bar requirements for lawyers, and so I think that lies with the states.
Support journalism you trust. Support PBS News. Donate now, or even better, start a monthly contribution today.